Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review Democracy 4. This is a game that you can find on Steam for about 27 bucks or so. This game has been out for quite a while. It was released, well, according to this, January 13th of 2022, and I have played it off and on since then. I've got about 5 or 6 hours on record. Now, I have to warn you folks that I am not very political. Okay, I don't follow Democrats or Republicans. I kind of do my own thing. That's really none of your business anyway. But I'm trying to give you a quick heads up as to, like, what kind of person is giving an opinion about this. I don't know some of these policies or how certain sides are supposed to interact with each other. I'm playing the game as a very casual, political person, okay? And I will simply say that I have a fun time doing it, even if I don't fully know what certain things mean or how they tie or what the significance of this is and how this affects this. I just like watching the bars move up and down as I adjust policies. That's where I'm getting the fun out of this. So, if you're expecting, a political expert to be reviewing this is the wrong video for you. You're looking at someone that, again, is more casual in terms of that kind of thing. So on that note, let's just jump right into it real quick. There is an options menu, and this is my one complaint about the game. The screen resolution settings are kind of weird. There's no, I normally use 2500 something by 1400 something. There's a 2560 by 1600, but I know there's a step below that for the monitor that I've got, and there's a 3840 by 2160, which is my monitor, but there's one resolution below that of the same ratio. I just don't remember exactly what it is. It's 2600 by 1440 or something like that. Anyway, it's not available here, so I'm stuck with 1920 by 1080 if I want to play in windowed mode in order to record this particular video. It's just kind of weird that not all resolutions are supported in this. That's one thing I'm just going to complain about right now. If this game was released, a year or two ago, 2022, you should have, come on. You should have most, if not all, of the resolutions available. As far as rendering scale, that's just, how big do you want to make the UI? I love that everything has a tooltip associated with it. This is disabled DPI aware. Check this if you use monitor scaling and wish to run the game full screen at lower resolution than your desktop. Again, I'm not very technical, so I leave it alone. I adjust the resolution to the way I like it, and I toggle off full screen, and I play in a windowed mode, and I can move the window around. It's not one of those borderless windows. It's one that you can drag around. Anyway, you can adjust various sound effects up here, like sliders. There's other, game options, like higher level of political capital when first elected. So you can toggle certain gameplay things off. There's even, assassinations, which is kind of cool. There's also protest votes and other cool things. Again, there's a tooltip associated with all of this stuff. I highly recommend at least reading all of those tooltips before you get into it. There's a website, a compass, awards, mods. I have not messed with the mods too much. The game does plenty enough for me that, I'm satisfied with the way it is. There's also a player guide. Highly recommend checking this out because there's, again, a lot of things going on here. And my goal today is just to give you a very brief overview in my opinion of it. So what I'm going to do, first I'm going to click on New Game so you can see the different countries that you can play as. I'm going to assume possibly that the workshop items let you play as other countries, but don't quote me on it. So you've got the United States of America, you've got United Kingdom, Japan, France, Canada, Australia, Spain, and they have their different difficulties. As you can see, there's Spain, we've got South Korea, Italy, so you can mess around with a different country. You get, an office and you try and make it work, basically, by adjusting sliders. You can see, there's an adjustments list here. Link between income tax and tax evasion adjusted. EU affects EU membership. The mafia affects organized crime. That's just, I'm Italian, so, seeing stuff like that, that's pretty fun. Not a member of the mob, mind you, but it's still cool. Anyway, so you can choose your country, and you can make it more difficult if you want to, if I hit play. So you can name your party. I named mine the Voyager Party, and then the opposition party name was the Gluten Party. So, and you can have a total of 3 parties if you want. So you can have your party and then 2 others if you want. I guess it's sort of like Democrat Republican kind of thing. But anyway, in this game, there's a drop down, and you can choose, as you can see, the Civil Rights League, or the Family Values Party, or the Freedom Brigade, Industrial Party, that kind of thing. Again, I don't know, as a casual political kind of person, I don't know which parties favor which policies. I just like to adjust things and play with sliders. But if you're familiar with all that stuff, then you may get a kick out of a lot of this. Compulsory voting, 3 parties. You can also adjust your difficulty how you like it. Economic cycles, innate socialism, innate liberalism, starting debt, political apathy, different things like that. And then you hit play and you start your game. What I'm going to do is load up my save that I've been working on for the last half an hour, maybe. Okay, so this game is turn-based. And every turn you're going to get a report at the beginning of it. And you can kind of see how well you're doing. So there's the GDP, there's unemployment, health, crime, education, poverty. These are the main categories. Clicking on one is overwhelming. Okay, you can see what affects this. Unemployment, unemployed benefit, tobacco tax, state school, state pension. All of these things, positive and negative, have some kind of effect on this. And because it is the way it is, these things are affected on the right. Violent crime, stability, socialism, all of these different things. So you'll see the chart in a minute. But long story short, you get a report and it tells you what's gone up, what's gone down. In this case, my unemployment went up. Gosh, probably should do something about that. I've been working really hard on health, trying to get the United States' health under control, because as a sick person, personally, the first thing I did was fix our health issue. I made, I'll show you in a minute, but I made health food cheaper and junk food more expensive. I'm basically encouraging the consumption of healthy food, which should, in theory, again, affect health in some ways. I bumped up, I think, the junk food tax quite a bit. People would not like me in real life, I'm just saying. Put me in as president in real life, I'm going to get voted out of office in like 2 weeks' time. Yeah, anyway. So you can kind of see the report here. Now, this is overwhelming, okay? You're looking at this like, what in the world is going on here? Essentially, what you're looking at is, look for the red things. The red things are bad, and how do I fix them? Okay. On the left-hand side, you can see all the different types of people. If I hover over, say, capitalist, these are all the things that affect it. So the arrows going toward the word capitalist, that is what is affecting that bar. And the things going out to the bubbles is, what is being affected by the capitalist bar being what it is. So again, there's a lot of input-output kind of thing. And I'll leave you to discover how these all tie together on your own. I just want to show you like how insane this is. Commuters, some don't have that much. Telecommuting initiative and traffic. I initiated the telecommuting initiative. So you can enact certain laws that show up on the screen, and you can even remove them. This screen essentially is a representation of all the different policies that you have enacted. You can adjust them, you can get rid of them completely, you can enact new ones which add new bubbles to the mix, and that will in turn affect the different bars on the left-hand side of the screen. On the upper left-hand corner, you've got the income, expenditure. My surplus right now is $2.17 billion. I started the game with $23.86 trillion in debt. I kind of want to play a new game with not me being in debt, just to try it out and see if it makes any big difference, because I don't believe I should inherit someone else's problem, but that's just me. But I am making a surplus. I gotta keep an eye on that, though, because I'm really close to, being in the red. But I'm trying really hard to stay in the greens to pay off some of this debt. It's not going to make a dent. We've got 23.86 trillion compared to my 2.17 billion. The turn itself takes place over 3 months. So, and this bar is telling you when the next election is, and there's going to be a vote, and you can even be voted out of office. And again, you could be assassinated if you're not careful, or if assuming you've got that toggled on. You've got some other buttons up here. We'll just take them one at a time. This is the security briefing. You can kind of see how well you're doing in terms of security. I'm probably going to have to do something about this. Maybe up CCTV cameras, for example. If I click on that, I can adjust this bar right and left. And as you can see in the middle of the screen, it's adjusting the red bars and the green bars up or down across various categories. Now, it's worth mentioning that in order to enact these policies or change them, you have to spend something called political capital. I just want to cancel. No, I don't want to cancel anything. I just want to bring it back to how it was. Well, how did I have it? Cost history? All right, I just want to revert changes and then close. There we go. All right, so you need to spend something called political capital. And every turn, you earn political capital based on who your cabinet members are. Okay, there's another button up here. Let's see this person here. Okay, so these are your cabinet members. And depending on how much they like you and how loyal they are and how efficient they are, the experience they gain, all of these different bars, they will contribute so much political capital to you every turn. So this is your income for changing things. Okay, so if all of your cabinet members are really bad, you're not going to be able to change a whole lot every turn. But if you manage to get a cabinet and shuffle things around to where they all benefit you and they're really happy and they're loyal to you and you do a good job, they will provide a lot of political capital for you to make a lot of changes. And you can even enact certain laws cheaper or certain policies more cheaply if they are on your side and they have experience and stuff like that. So that's really cool. And there's a button that says reshuffle cabinet for 10 capital. So I can, this turn, spend 10 of my 20 capital to fire people and bring new people in if I wanted to. I'm not going to do that right now, but something I may want to consider in the future. So you're going to be earning this political capital every turn, and you're going to be then using that political capital to adjust various policies. There's a button on the very top, this little light bulb, and these are different policy ideas. There's foreign policy, welfare, economy, tax, public services, law and order, transport. The things in red are things I cannot afford right now. Let's see, ban private healthcare, for example. If I wanted to do that, you could see that I would need 32 political capital in order to even adjust this. I've got 20 on the right. This would cost 32 to even adjust it. So I can't do it. That's why it's in red. But you can see it would affect private healthcare, socialists, capitalists, equality, socialism, and wealthy. You can ban alcohol, which is something I want to do. I just don't have enough to do it. Again, people would hate my guts in real life. But by banning alcohol, I'm sure that my alcohol consumption would go down. And as the result of that going down, you may see an increase in health and different things like that. So yeah, that's kind of cool. What else we got going on here? There's different buttons for like, okay, you can adjust the bubbles here. Finances, weighted. So you can see the things that are like costing you the most, I guess. Payroll tax, what is that? Income tax. So I guess you can see like where you're making your money. Essentially, there's the income tax. I could increase that maybe if I want to. Weighted, influence, policy, popularity. So you can see, is this something I recently... Tobacco tax, yes. I bumped that sucker up. It's in the process of going up. I don't believe policies like reach their target slider spot right away. It takes some time for it to go up. But yeah, I implemented a tobacco tax. People hate me. But hey, I'm trying to discourage cigarette smoke so that people become more healthy. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. And what else do we have here? They hate the property taxes at the moment, and inheritance taxes. I might have to look at that later. We'll see. But again, I got to be careful not to give them too much because then I'll go into debt. So I have to make, changes. A balance changes somewhere. Opinion polls. People hated me for a while, but my approval rating is starting to go back up. Disposable income. Most of my population seems to be on the poor middle income side, which is typical. Voter types, focus groups. Let's quit that tutorial. Focus groups, so you can see, what kind of your approval rating that you're getting based on, middle income or whatever. And why are they unhappy? Middle income is unhappy because of income tax. So if I do something about the income tax, then more people will like me. Surprise, surprise. So you can kind of see like the different kinds of people, capitalists, conservatives, why they why they're angry with you, why you're being approved. The retired love me, apparently. Why is that? Well, they hate the fact that there's still violent crime, but I've got state pensions, private health care, and other things that make them happy. Different things like that. So that's really cool. You can mess with that at your own leisure. Search the icons on the screen. Achievements, I already mentioned that. This is the options menu here. You'll note that you don't have the full range of options that you did in the main menu. You can also change this. This is too much for my eyes, so I like the dark. But you can change this how you like. I put it on dark. And then there's various electioneering. Again, every so often you will be elected, there'll be an election, and how well you do determines whether or not you stay in office. Manifesto pledges. I don't think that's a thing for me yet. There's speeches, fundraising, so I'll be able to, hopefully, okay, the gluten party, I may have to do some more campaigning. I know, again, they hate my guts. I'm hoping that I can turn things around through other means. But yeah, I might get voted out of office quickly. Wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, and then every turn, most of the time, there's some kind of decision for you to make that affect different things, like violent video games, for example. Concerns have been raised in the press about the impact that violent video games have on the nation's youth, blah, 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 blah. This is an old topic that has been around for a while. I can leave it unchanged, censor games, or add warning labels. I'm a believer that I think warning labels, at least, I'm not going to censor games, but I do think that parents should have the tools they need to make educated decisions about the games that their kids are playing. A 5-year-old should not be playing Left 4 Dead and then going to school and waving a plastic toy gun around because they've seen it in a video game. There needs to be some kind of education. Some parents are clueless when it comes to things like this. So I'm going to go with add warning labels, and then this will affect. Parents seem to like that. The youth hate it, but that's whatever. The youth aren't paying taxes, are they? So I'm going to hit next turn. And credit rating downgraded. Oh, big deal. My GDP is in the toilet, but my health is doing pretty well. I'm going to work on education next, probably. Crime went down a bit. It was high up here, but now it's down. But I'm going to be working on that, again, by going here and enacting various policies that might help raise the GDP again, might lower some crime. Law and order, for example. Is there anything here that will address? I don't know. Let's see. I'm looking for anything. Okay, this actually, gambling would increase the GDP. I don't know if that would do a whole lot. Unemployment would go down. Religious would hate it. I'm not opposed to gambling, so as long as it's done responsibly. Internet censorship, I think that's going a bit too far. Legalize sex work now. GDP, parents are going to hate me for that. Gender equality. You can see where this is going. The amount of different things that you can do in this game to the right to die, right to privacy, secret court, crime would go down. There's so many things in this game that will, I don't know, it will adjust so many other things that you're going to be struggling to keep it all straight. Now, again, I will say, for my personal opinion, again, as a casual political person, I have fun with this because I get to play around with sliders and see how things get affected. To me, this is more of one of those business simulators where I'm trying to run a business and I'm trying to do well in it. Only in this case, it's the government. You know what I mean? So I see this as more of like a business sim, trying to make money and make people happy. Other people will see this as, the very politically correct and knowledgeable people will go, well, they may pick this game apart and go, well, wait a minute, it shouldn't be this because in real life it's this, this, and this. I'm sure there are many arguments either on the Steam forums or somewhere of people saying stuff like this. To me, this is just more fun slider business management kind of thing. But yeah, that is Democracy 4, and I do recommend this game. I would recommend it on a sale. Again, my only real complaint with it is the options menu, the lack of resolution options. And I wish I could play as more countries, but maybe there is a way to do that via the workshop. But you'd have to check that out for yourself because I haven't done so. All right, well, there you go. That was Democracy 4. If you guys haven't already subscribed to me on Twitch and YouTube, that way you can stay up to date with any new content I put to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care.